Why did you go to the police? Why didn't you come to me first?
What do you want from me? Tell me anything, but do what I beg you to do.
One of the only things that's still breathing life into the only accent I can do is the fact that Sean Connery was very, very nearly cast as Gandalf in Lord of the Rings. A wizard is never late, nor is he early. He arrives precisely when he means to. Shadowfax, show me the meaning of haste. Anyone that's already joined the Discord server, message me on Facebook if you want to be part of it, knows that I watched that VHS copy of The Godfather last night. I wish I could do a Marlon Brando right now, because look how they massacred my boy. Look how they massacred my boy. There's just so many things I wish I could make The Godfather say. Technically, maybe, was Al Pacino the godfather of The Godfather? There was a lot of Godfathers in that movie. We were down to one spare hot end. I think we're good now. I ordered enough, not just to rehab printers, but to have a few extra for when we're actually like doing the thing. I had to bring up some random stuff, but I just saw a Fortnite commercial, which I never played, with Snoop Dogg on it. Like, is there anything that Snoop is not a spokesperson for? I feel like I've seen him on crypto ads, Fortnite. He does that stuff with Martha Stewart. Like, I think eventually we're not gonna have spokespeople, like different spokespeople. It's gonna be like in Demolition Man, where every restaurant is Taco Bell. Like, every spokesperson is gonna be Snoop Dogg. With that extremely relevant and topical and salient point made, let's do the morning roundup. So with this spool, I just made as many drumstick holders as possible. Obviously it ran out, but this is like just a couple cents worth of plastic. And this is all the drumstick holders we made yesterday. Yup. This has been the fruit of this whole thing. Shockingly, got a lot more usable prints out of that spool than I thought I was going to, so that is nice. And here we go, alligator skull. We made so many of these little frog dishes. And used some of the white filament to make this guitar holder, which is white. Salvador Dali, he's going in an order with multiple items. We also made some frog dishes out here. I'm sure I'm gonna sell all of these, so it's like, you might as well just make a ton of them. Annoyingly, this guitar snake part, even though I've done this, at least on one side, printed wrong. I guess bed adhesion just wasn't very good. I very rarely have problems with this. So I think I'm going to redesign this to have like a bunch of strands, not just a couple, because this has probably happened 3 or 4 times and I just hate it. Like, we can't be going, I'm gonna sell a lot of guitar snakes. We can't be going into Christmas with stuff like this happening. Another alligator skull. This is the same, obviously painted. This is the same one that was in Bad Boys 4. Bad Boys Ride or Die is what they ended up calling it. Gandalf. Maybe that's why I'm selling a decent amount of alligators. Maybe everybody saw the movie. Something I've been meaning to do for like 6 months. I got on the front page of the news here, of the newspaper, and like I have a PDF image of it that I was able to get, and I've been meaning to like print it out and frame it or something. I'm not the main story, but I'm like the story right under the story. Like, all the local businesses around here, like the barbecue shop, they've gotten in the paper and they do the thing where they put the paper next to their register or something. And like, I've never gotten to do that because I've never been in the paper before. But it just seems like something any local business should do. Another Celtic skull, we're just making it extra. Down here we've got, this one was rehabbed yesterday, making an Einstein sort of test. And it worked. And another Einstein. And unbelievably, even after all that design work and crap, these things still come off the bed. I swear like the fates are just aligned after this. However, I didn't really hairspray this extremely good. What I do, if a printer starts doing this crap, I heat up the bed, then I hairspray it. Actually, I hairspray it, then I heat up the bed, hairspray it again, cool off the bed, and then hairspray it again, and then print. And that almost always works. Big old Sharko. And yeah, I haven't quite done this yet, but we've got the wiggly thing. And it can print it adequately. This guy messed up. This is like the problem child of my printers. It's a whole new hot end and things, but I know this thing is printed consistently. I'm just gonna like tweak it a bit, see if it works. It might have been a filament thing. I mean, it almost looks like it could be. This was a shark. This is the Godfather massacred shark. This is the coffee cup. This is the alien boy. This guy's all aliens from here on out. We got a couple of special projects to do before the holidays hit. And I'm going to introduce you to one that I have alluded to, but have not really fully discussed. And that is the following. We are going to create a national coffee strategic reserve. Yes, I have broken out the giant 2-gallon thing. It's a little dusty and stuff. I gotta clean it. But this is going to be all coffee. The reason I'm doing this, so that I don't have to go out for coffee. I think I can fill this up and be good for, I don't know, a week, couple weeks, something like that. Okay, it is time for Kleins and coffee. Now I'm gonna be working on that Marlon Brando accent the whole time. I keep wanting to make him like Russian or something. Look how they massacred my boy. Making the Godfather Russian is probably about the only thing that could make it even more hardcore. Leave the gun, take the cannoli. Is it glasses time? Yes. Getting one of the last coffees of the year. So this is extreme music geek content right here, but the band Rush and the band Triumph are both power trios from Canada, hard rock power trios from Canada, who have like one blonde person and then 2 brunette dudes, which I feel weird saying brunette dudes. And they have all these similarities that are strange and definitely probably unintended. Like, Rush has a song called Force 10. They have an album called Thunder 7. The blonde dude is a guitarist in both bands. However, in Triumph, the blonde guy and the drummer sing. And in Rush, the blonde guy and the drummer don't sing, and the bassist sings. There's a bunch of them, but really, really geeky people like to think about this, who are, you know, fans of both bands. And I am a fan of both. But I just realized one I've never thought of. Rush's first recorded song, if I remember right, is a cover of a Buddy Holly song called Not Fade Away. And I think Triumph's first recorded song is a cover song called Rocky Mountain Way. So they both have way in the title. I'm not 100% sure that's correct, but I think it is. We are going the Donkey Mountain Way. The Donkey Mountain Way. Groovy. Pretty cool. A bunch of people are joining the Discord server. There's actually somebody that's only like 25 minutes away from me or something like that. So that's cool. You'll see a lot of really cool prints in there. You guys should join. We've got basically all the big printers finished at the same time, so we're gonna set those. We're gonna rehab some printers because we only got a couple days to get the last couple done. I think we have 16 or 17 of the small ones, and I really need 20 typically. So we're gonna do that, and I think we're gonna listen to some cassettes today because it's been a while, brother. Also, I think I got some Christmas cassettes a few days ago or something from the thrift store that I haven't listened to yet. And it is time to do all the Christmas things. My man. All right, time to fix this mother effing thing. I think we're gonna check out the belt, see if there's any suspect parts. It might just be that this needed to be tensioned more or something, I don't know. This is kind of a weird thing to show, but I had this sort of 3D printed tray that I kept all my like Allen wrenches and different things in. And I have had this for so long that it's starting to like break and parts of it are starting to wear. I mean, that's how long I've been lugging this little knick-knack around. You know, probably literally like 5 years, working with it every single day, literally. So I have a glass thing from a heart-shaped candle, and we are going to put all this stuff in here because this will last longer. There we go. We are going to love repairing things more than we have been. And here is what it looks like. This was just a normal 3D printed thing. There's even like little bits and pieces of stuff. But you can see just how like worn and messed up it is. This is going with all the stuff for the museum. That's right up there with the original spool clutch and then the replacement spool clutch. And this, while we're here, this is the original tape gun thing that I used. And you can see that like it just over time got super messed up and eventually stopped working. And look at like how bent the blade is and things like that. That's how many things this is packaged. Tens of thousands. So yeah, this very silly looking little dish is now Grandma's homemade solution to sustainability. And the reason I did that is because we need the wrenches to adjust this. Yeah, it's a little hard to get this to focus, but I'm going to say this is probably too messed up. We actually do need to replace this. Ugh. Thankfully, I do have a roll of this stuff. It took me a second to find, and I was like, man, maybe I don't have it anymore, but yep. Gotta have some of this. There's actually another printer that the Y-axis, if I remember right, snapped or something, so this will help us fix 2 printers probably. Believe it or not, it's been kind of a long time since I've actually changed a X-axis belt, and it's pretty straightforward, but yeah, time to do this again. Yeah, just giving people some perspective. This is how much some of these printers have been used that the belts are wearing out. I mean, it's not exactly like an impossible thing or something that never happens, but you really got to print the crap out of some stuff to get your belts to actually wear down. I think what I'm going to do is kind of measure this, then cut out a section that's about the same length, maybe slightly longer, and just do that. I don't know about y'all, but I keep these in the bag like this, and then when I'm pulling this, you kind of do this, and it's a good way to keep this organized. That ought to do it. Here's a little tidbit that might help some people. You might notice that on the normal, the X-axis, and any of the belts that are like this, you have those little metal crimps. And a lot of you might not have a crimper, whatever they're called. I actually used to use one at a job I had once. You can take zip ties, and you probably need to use at least 2 of them, but just tighten the crap out of them and sort of feed the teeth into each other, which is what I've done here. And that will work. It seems kind of stupid and inelegant, but like I said, you really got to make sure they're super tight, but this does work. There we go. Nice smooth movement. Nice and tight, but not too tight, I think. There's really an optimum tightness to these belts when you do this. I haven't done a ton of it, but that's feeling pretty good to me. Yeah, it's mostly when I've been putting together printers that I have to think about belts, but I just don't do it that much. But that feels like pretty optimal. We'll see. We'll do a test print on that one. We have another printer that also has a belt issue, like I mentioned before. And while we're on a belt kick, we might as well fix it. And it's this guy right here. Yup, it's this belt right here. I was thinking it was the Y-axis, but it's also another X-axis. So, yup, you should not be able to do that. Took the old belt, so we should be good with that. Also, if you ever see your printer doing this, that is a classic sign that your X-axis belt is messed up. I don't know if this is weird to say, but this is like really fun for me. Like, I don't really do like a lot of these more significant repairs. It's mostly just maintenance. It's actually just super fun to like make things, to see things that don't work, do what you do, and then now they work. It's just kind of a satisfying feeling, honestly. A lot of you guys probably know this, but when you're doing this, you got to make sure that that belt is really just like in the track, you know, and gonna move nice and smoothly before you go attach it, you know, to the X-axis carriage. There we go. I'd say that's a pretty optimal tightness. Good tightness is like, it's almost a little hard to push, but you can't actually imagine it getting caught somewhere if you're just not moving, basically. Switched it on, and we're getting normal readings. That looks fine. Guess this is the X-axis motor, and we have the extruder upgrades, so we can install that. That went off without a hitch. I tested the motor before doing all this, so it seems like it's gonna work. Got bed clips. This doesn't seem to be too wiggly or strange. I think this is going to be a valuable member of the community right here. Oh yeah, to all the people roasting me for thinking the flag holder in the last episode was a bottle opener. We didn't grow up with fancy things, okay? We didn't have flags when I was growing up. When we had flags growing up, we just had to hold them. Ain't no thing you can put on the wall. So I just sold another burger, and it's a full-size one with all the ingredients. 500 bucks. Somebody's getting a burger for Christmas. Okay, that took way longer than it should have, but this should be operational. Oh yeah, I guess I forgot to mention, I replaced this belt too, because it actually did need to be replaced. Blue spools, blue spools, blue spools. Everybody's spooling about me. Might get a spool full of coffee. Might get a spool full of tea. Alright, we cracked this guy open, and it is very clear what the problem is here. But that is an easy fix. Bam! Well, it's been a day of rehabbing and doing a bunch of nonsense. But it is time to package at least a few things. Dolphin. Big Red David. Actually, this is the small Red David. The big Red David would be like that big. Everyone gets a cupcake. Very small pug boy. Oh, what a day. Well, oh man. We've got all the little guys doing their thing. And all the big printers are making the components of the burger. So we're in pretty good shape. And it's actually crazy that I sold one of those burgers. It's 500 bucks a pop. It'd be crazy if I sold like a whole bunch of them. It would take a long time to make them, honestly. Yup, those are gonna be tomatoes. That is cheese. That's either the top bun or the bottom bun. That's either the bottom bun or the top bun. Alright. It's about enough nonsense for one day. Replacing the belts kind of took longer than I was expecting they would. Just get them really nice and tight. You got to get the tension right on those things. I've had pretty bad results from doing that poorly in the past. Shard Keyser on the last episode asks, basically he's wanting to know how many pellets of color you put into each batch of plastic to get it to turn out right. And that varies unbelievably widely. I have used so many different kinds of colorants and stuff. There's no set answer. Typically the range is between 1 and 4%. I found that white PLA is really hard. PLA colorant is very hard to get right, and you have to add a lot of it. White is like the most expensive color typically because of how much you have to add into it. But you just have to experiment. Now the reason mine is streaky like this is because I'm not trying to actually make it blue. I'm adding a little bit of colorant because it changes the texture of the filament, and the extruder assemblies grab it better when there's at least a little bit of colorant in that. That's why I'm not just making it natural. Sandingo says, grateful for the answer and grateful that tomorrow is Thanksgiving. I guess when you guys see this, it will probably be Thanksgiving, which I guess is tomorrow. I've kind of forgotten that Thursday is Thanksgiving. So, happy Thanksgiving, everybody. It feels like Thanksgiving should be the Gratitude Gang's holiday. I feel like we should have done a lot more for this episode that has to do with giving thanks and being grateful for stuff. Well, we'll get it next year. Let's put it this way. If you don't normally leave a comment, today leave a comment saying what you're thankful for, because today, from your guys' perspective, is Thanksgiving. So it's time to give thanks in the comment section. This is what we've been training for this whole time. We are the Gratitude Gang. Tomorrow, or today for you guys, is Gratitude Day. This is our day. So if you don't normally write a comment, write a comment. This is like if you're like one of those once a year Catholics or something and you go only on Easter. This is the day to leave a comment for you guys. I'm not just saying that for the algorithm. Got to be grateful at least once a year. And if you're not grateful on Thanksgiving, there's no hope for you, son. So yeah. Be grateful in the comment section today for something. It can be something stupid. It can be completely ridiculous. Remember, we're the Gratitude Gang. So it's gratefulness time. I'm getting a little loopy. I've done a lot of things today. And it's probably time to sign off before I improv something truly embarrassing. Nice to see you guys in the Discord. Again, if you want to join the Discord, just go to my Facebook page and friend me and message me, and that is on the main page of YouTube. A lot of you have done this already, and a lot of you are on the Discord server. It's getting pretty fun in there. Anyway, I'm grateful for you guys. I forgot to do all my gratitude stuff. Honestly, same thing as last time. Try not to just mail this in, but really, like, a bunch of the printers are all working, and it went off with even less of a hitch than I was thinking it was going to. Glad you guys are watching. I'm glad that sales are crazy. I almost did 4 figures today, and this is before the rush. So oh man, it's gonna be so crazy. I'm already exhausted. Yeah, I'm gonna sign off before I literally fall asleep holding this phone, talking into it. Grateful for you guys. Peace out.